Generally, when I hear my name called out like that, it's usually followed with "the defendant will rise." Good news, my anorexia is in complete remission. I hate to do a fat joke, but let's face it, I put on 10 more pounds, I can apply for statehood. So. Here we go. I mean, it's been an interesting morning. Had a hard time getting here. Earlier in the day, I was at Whole Foods doing a little shopping, and the very nice checkout lady asked if if she could wrap my meat in plastic, and I thought, well, no, that's a friendly gesture. And I was explaining that, you know, I thought she was being somewhat euphemistic and whatnot, and the police wasn't buying a minute of it. The officer did point out that I then requested that she drizzle hot wax on my nipples, and I'm thinking, now look, if you're wrapping the meat in plastic, a little hot wax, come on, how far can that be? What are we asking for, really? By the way, if you're looking at porn that has wieners in it, most of it's illegal. Don't do that. FBI will be showing up. I'll give you their card. I've got one in my pocket somewhere around here. So, at any rate, as you might be wondering, you know, what's the retired, rotund, pedophile gym coach doing up on stage? To which I say, I'm not retired. No, I am. Actually, no, truth be told, I have one of the three top creepy professions. You know, the number one is tattoo artist. The second one is cab driver, which I am. The third one is, of course, full sedation dentistry. You're waking up, you're in the chair, the buttons aren't quite right, you're mildly satisfied. The dentist is stabbing on a cigarette, and he's buttoning up. Well, something happened, man. Maybe you want to know, maybe you don't. It's just the way it is. And, you know, being a cab driver, people will ask, well, you drive a cab in Ann Arbor, you know, there must be some wild and exciting things that happen there. You know, the thought that comes to mind is, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Driving cab in Ann Arbor is about as exciting as getting a lap dance from Janet Reno. Oh, come on, there has to be one Janet Reno joke up here. I will have a little fun with the people every now and then. They'll ask me, you know, what's that thumping in the back? And I say, that's a Scientologist who's figuring out the rope trick. It's not a trick. And that the Lord Zeno is the least of his problems. You know, is the cab wired for video? Sure, but you're never going to see it. It might turn up one day, oh, I don't know, when they come to dig up the backyard, as I call it, the garden. And they find the little things, I don't know, a few trophies from the past, a pair of bloody handcuffs, an old clown suit that doesn't fit. Anymore? And you might wonder, hey, how did I get this way, man? I mean, come on, you're an adult, you should know better than this. And, well, I would say maybe it's from spending too much time on Craigslist. Maybe it's a little too much time as an internet-based sex predator. I say, no, that's not true. I blame my parents for all this. I'm the victim, or the family member of a mixed marriage, if you will. My parents were hillbilly and German. I hail from Ypsilanti. Having a hillbilly German family is kind of interesting. We have sort of a weird family motto. It's something along the lines of Wittenheim, Immernach, Ich bin Ruckenschmerzen, von der Leitzenzeit, which translates roughly into English as, thank you, no, I'm still sore from the last time you did that to me. It's a little more lyrical than the hillbilly version, which is wake up, sis. You know, you're not my blood sister, so this ain't wrong. I grew up in the house that was sort of like, my parents were like hillbilly porn stars staging the longest production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with the kids right in the middle. And, you know, it was certainly an interesting time. I mean, my mom would get mad at my father. She would say the only reason I married you is because you had a good job and a big cock. She wouldn't put it in that order, of course. Oh my God, they're throwing a red light at me. Well, listen, folks, I'm not going to be able to get to the rest of it, but I thank you all for everything, and I just want to let you go with one last little bit of advice from an inbred like myself. Remember, if any of your fetishes involve gunplay, never use fire as a safety word. Come on.